Market update and altcoin season is near. Welcome to today's live stream. In this live stream, we'll be talking about a quick update on the market, what Bitcoin is doing, and as well when we could be expecting altcoin season to be coming. So I do want to go ahead and say welcome everybody. Do me a huge favor and smash that like button for me, and we're going to go ahead and get started with today's live stream. I hope all of you are having a wonderful day. Let me know down below if we are officially live. Let me go ahead and start sharing this with my community so we can go ahead and get this live stream up and running, right? Running a little few minutes behind, right? I did say about 15 minutes and it seems like it's freaking 30 minutes, bro. I didn't realize how long it actually took to go ahead and get that up and running, but let's go ahead and start minimizing ourselves because all of you came here to watch some charts, not watch me, right? So let's go ahead and get all of this popping. Add everyone. We are live. So there you go. We just went ahead and notified everybody, so we should be good. I don't know why my Discord says I'm playing Fortnite, bro. Why does it say that? Look, this is playing Fortnite. You can't make this up. In the lobby playing Fortnite. I was playing Fortnite like about 2 hours ago, but I think I'm probably still in the lobby or something. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and get started with talking about Bitcoin. So let's go ahead and take a look at Bitcoin right now. I have talked about earlier today on our other live stream. I talked about Bitcoin reaching some sort of top and getting a near top. And right now we're actually looking at Bitcoin at around this 51,778. I do believe Bitcoin's top will be right here at 57,309. I think roughly around 57,800. That's usually the ideal spot where we can see Bitcoin topping off. If we go ahead and see our volume indicator, I believe it's called a volume indicator, fixed range volume profile, we do see that right here. This is an area of resistance and we have been around this zone multiple times. How's it going, Happy? How's it going, Ryan? Hope you're doing well, dude. How are you doing, Ryan, by the way? How are you feeling and how are you doing, man? Hope you're having a good one and glad to see you back, man. Glad to see you back in action. So we're gonna go ahead and let me go ahead and pull my live stream right here on my phone. Almost forgot. All right, there you go. So with this fixed rate volume indicator, we talked about earlier today how within the zone right here we could be seeing some sort of area of resistance to be approached, and there's actually a zone that we're at right now. We're getting near it, right? We're at 51,000 right now. 57,800 is going to be the top in my opinion. We have seen this range be an area of support and an area that struggled to be an area of resistance. Sorry, we see this area was once an area of resistance and broke through it, and we also have noticed that this area has been a struggling point of support as well, right? So it's not really a strong area. It is a strong area of resistance, but the support is not so well. So I do believe we will be topping off right here around 5800, and then we're going to go ahead and see Bitcoin come back down to around the $40,000 to the $42,000 range, right? So let me know down below what all of you think. Good, bro. Awesome, man. Awesome. Glad to go ahead and hear that, Ryan. So that's what we're seeing with Bitcoin right now at the moment. So let's go ahead and take a look at Sol real quick. And keep in mind, it is midnight for me, so my energy is not as crazy as I usually am, and also I'm trying to stay as quiet as possible. I do not want to make too much noise around the house, so I'm trying to keep my voice a little leveled down, right? So if you've noticed me a little, not too excited as I usually am, is because I'm already out of energy. It's already midnight. Honestly, I wasn't in a mood of really doing a live stream, but I was like, you know what, we need to do a market update, right? So also that, and I'm already exhausted from all of today, right? So bear in mind with my energy levels right now, they are slightly lower than usual with my excitement being all over the place, but I'm also trying to not make too much noise, right? So I'm trying to go ahead and stay neutral with this. But looking at Solana, we are seeing Solana coming back down to this area of support around the 110 that we talked about. Possibility, as long as we continue to hold this range right here at 1010, we should be good with Solana, and we should be seeing a lot of these meme tokens pumping, which we actually are. We head over to Dex Screener right now, we see a lot of these meme tokens actually taking off at the moment right now because the dominance of Solana has been decreasing, right? And typically when we see a dominance of Solana decrease, we start to see a lot of these Solana meme tokens actually take off. I mean, dude, I wish I was liquid in the market right now. It looks like a lot of good plays actually have been out. But look, this is typically what we see with Solana, right? These rug pulls where they literally just pump for a couple minutes before they collapse. Literally, this token only lasted 10 minutes before it crashed. 10 minutes before the token crashed, right? So this is kind of like what we see in the sector of meme tokens. Sora has something to do with the Grok update, I believe, with the AI that Elon Musk released. This is the reason why this thing has been pumping, from what I believe. I'm not too positive on that, but I believe that's the reason why this thing has been taking off. But we are seeing a lot of these meme tokens take off as well. Damn, CBDC did a 72% retracement. That is freaking insane, man. I didn't expect it to do that kind of retracement. I think the narrative is still strong though. This thing has been running for 3 days, you know, two green days. Well, it says pair created 1 day and 14 hours ago, but it's interesting how on the daily right here it shows 3 days, right? So GME up 56%, man. 56%. GME is looking extremely bullish. So yeah, typically when we have this this Solana dominance decrease, as we see Solana, you know, come back down, that's usually when we see a lot of these meme tokens take off, right? And that's actually what we're seeing right now. Goldie, how's it going? Good morning. 1W. I would definitely drink some W, but it's too late. I don't want to stay up all night. I definitely have to catch up on some sleep. I've literally these last couple of days I haven't slept, and I'm pretty exhausted, to be honest. I'm pretty what is the word? Like, I forgot what the word is, but I'm pretty worn out, honestly, so I need to get me some rest. So we're not taking W at night. Yeah, so Solana right now, as we see Solana decrease, we do see a lot of these meme tokens increase in value. So you could be expecting a lot of these meme tokens taking off. So Solana's, you know, also following this path of 147. If we do go ahead and get an altcoin season, I would definitely like to be interested of how this would work, right? Because a lot of these altcoins have been following Bitcoin like literally 1-to-1, which has been quite interesting. Typically when we see Bitcoin dominance fall, we see altcoins rise, and these last couple of weeks we've actually been seeing altcoins follow the same path as Bitcoin. So that is something that I'm really interested in. Are we going to go ahead and see altcoins top off as well during the time that Bitcoin tops off, and then we're going to be followed with a massive correction on the altcoins with a 40% correction, and then taking us to a possible altcoin season? That's what I want to go ahead and know, and that's what I'm really interested in, that literally a lot of these altcoins have been following Bitcoin 1-to-1, especially Solana, right? So I'm actually excited to go ahead and see where things go with the altcoin space right there. I'm thinking, you know, Bitcoin, you know, tops off, people freak out, altcoins dump 40%, and as they dump 40-50%, then we go ahead and get some more excitement back into the market, and then we see a reversal into altcoins. That's what I believe might happen. I could be completely wrong, but I feel like also with altcoins we haven't really seen major retracements. I mean, probably from this top to this bottom, the biggest retracement we have seen has been about 37%, which is not too bad. But if we were to go ahead and see a retracement within this range right here at 144 all the way down, taking us to about a 40% retracement, this will take us about roughly around $87 of SOL. So I think this would be pretty nice for us to go ahead and see. We see new all-time highs being made, and then we see a retracement down to, you know, that 40% level, or maybe this becomes our new area of support, right? So wherever Solana decides to go to, maybe that's the area of support we're going to go ahead and head down to next. So that's actually quite interesting, and something I would like to go ahead and see happened, because this is actually quite interesting, the fact that it's following Bitcoin, right? So enough with Solana and altcoins. Let's go ahead and talk about the DXY. So we do see the DXY showing some sort of reversal. I do expect the DXY to be broken at this area of resistance at around the 104,713. So we should be breaking that range fairly soon, in my opinion. So don't be surprised if we do go ahead and see that range being broken in the next coming days, maybe by tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday already, man. That's freaking insane. For many of you, it's already Friday, so happy Friday. To me, I believe it's Thursday still. So we're going to go ahead and see where things go with that. But the DXY, I do expect this to go up higher. And as I mentioned, the higher the dollar, the weaker Bitcoin gets, which is not good for the market, right? So I do believe that also comes in with a sign that Bitcoin is also reaching some sort of top very, very soon. Looking at the fear and greed chart, we do see greed at the 72 level of greed. We do have to be careful once we start entering this range of extreme greed, which is not obviously a bearish sign, but it is a sign for us to be cautious about how the market is feeling and where we should be taking most of our trades, right? So looking at crypto bubbles, we do see a lot of these altcoins slightly pumping right now, nothing too crazy. We did see nice little breakouts as Solana was making new all-time highs again, or previous all-time highs these last couple of days. And we also saw a lot of these altcoins take off as well, right? So right now it's a little bit neutral, as I mentioned, and it's due to the fact that right now we are seeing Bitcoin retrace right now. Bitcoin is getting near that top as well, and that's what we're seeing with altcoins right now, which is quite interesting to say the least. James says hi, going to sleep with your stream and waking up. Awesome, James, glad to have you here today, man. Really appreciate you, really do appreciate you. Yeah, it's going to be pretty much the same thing that you saw from earlier. Just a quick little market update to see where things are and if anything has changed. As I talk to everybody, please don't mind my energy levels. I'm super exhausted myself right now. It's already midnight. I'm getting ready to go to bed as well. So, and I'm trying to be as quiet as possible and not be too loud, right? So keep in mind my energy levels are going to be a little different when it's during the day for me, right? I'm a little bit more hyped up, especially because I'm running on a lot of caffeine to go ahead and say the least. But that's pretty much it. I do want to say shout out to Dabmaster. I would recommend all of you to go ahead and check out his collection. I really love his collection. Personally, this is not sponsors, any of that. This is just me showing support to a friend back, right? So he's shown support to the community as well, and I loved his inspired art that he did for Banks, or not for Banksy, but it's Banksy inspired art, and he actually released this for Valentine's, right? So I would say grab you some if you want to go ahead and show some love and support. He is one of our moderators right here on chat, which sometimes comes in here too as well, right? So Goldie says, me too, James. I really appreciate you all. So I would say if you are looking to go ahead and trade any meme tokens right now, which you know how I feel about meme tokens, Solana, dude, I've made a lot of freaking money these last couple of days with Solana plays, but I've also lost literally everything, right? Because most of these projects are rugs or scams. You're going to lose most of your money, right? But look at this, a 65,000%. That's a 65x, right? That's almost literally 100x. So this is what's printed literally every freaking day on the meme tokens. You have 65x right here, you have a 12x, and then you have another 8x, right? So this is the reason why a lot of people print money in this freaking space, right? So very easy to make money, but also very easy to lose money. If you are looking to go ahead and enter any trades for any meme tokens, I would highly recommend checking out GameStop. I think GameStop is right now at a good zone right now. It looks like it could potentially be doing some sort of cup and handle pattern, and we do see extreme buys right here with volume also picking up, right? So we are seeing a lot of bullish signs on GME. We see this W bottom pattern with this breakout, with this cup and handle pattern to the continuation to the upside. So we want to see if this is going to be a head and shoulders pattern. To be honest, more than likely this will be a head and shoulders pattern, and then we'll probably find a consolidation within the range of around the 19-18 million market cap being the zone where it's going to consolidate before making new all-time highs and reaching back to the zone of 40 million and above. So I would highly recommend all of you to check out GameStop. When it comes to trading these meme tokens, a platform that I prefer, preferably myself, this is a platform called Photon, which I would highly recommend all of you to go ahead and use. I like this platform because this is one of the best platforms, in my opinion, that I've tried out when it comes to trading meme tokens, right? Like let's say, for example, you want to go ahead and check out Sora, or we could go ahead and say GME, right? And I'm going to go ahead and post a link down below. I used to use BankBot. BankBot's trash, all right? So if you want to trade these degenerate meme tokens that are not on centralized exchanges and they're just like out on the Solana blockchain, on dexes, on decentralized exchanges, I would highly recommend for you to check out this platform, photon.sol. I'll go ahead and provide you my link down below. And this right here, for example, I'm going to show you the reason why I like this, right? The reason why I like this a lot is because if you see the charts, this is literally like a chart that if you were looking at in freaking a centralized exchange, right? Clean interface, clean chart, looks really good. I prefer to go ahead and put it on the market cap because these tokens move so quick. So I would rather focus on the market cap zone, right? So always put it on market cap right here. It is with trading view, and this chart looks freaking beautiful. It looks freaking clean. The interface looks good. You have the setups right here, how much SOL you want to buy, how much you want to sell, your slippage, your priority fee, and quick buy, right? It's nothing confusing like a lot of these platforms where it literally takes a whole entire new level of learning how to use a platform when it comes to BankBot or any of these Telegram trading bots. This is a sniper bot which helps you snipe early access to tokens. And what I like right here is the interface they have, right here on GameStop, it tells you the amount of buys, the amount of sells, the volume that we're currently seeing, the makers, and you could also go ahead and check your holdings right here at the bottom. This is one of my losing tokens right now. Hopefully this one recovers. But talking about that, I like how it gives you your P&L, right? Your profit and loss, which then you could also share with other people, or you could save it, kind of like what MEXC and all these other platforms do, right? So this is pretty cool. I like this. This literally makes it feel like I'm literally at a regular centralized exchange platform leverage trading. And for me, I wish I would have found out about this platform earlier, because honestly, I lost a lot of money too trading on BankBot. So if you are looking to go ahead and enter this freaking crazy space of meme tokens, which is super, super risky, I would recommend using Photon. I'll go ahead and provide my link down below. And I like how it gives you all the information you need. Very, very accessible in my opinion. And it gives you everything you need to know without having to go ahead and do too much deep research into the contract, right? It tells you right here, mint, LP burn, top 10 holders are less than 15%. And now you could go ahead and click it right here. You could go ahead and go quick buy if you want, or you can buy it right there directly. I don't know why it's not working. I guess you have to copy the contract and post it. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Yeah, you can go ahead and look at this chart right here, and this is your typical Solana chart, right? This is your typical kind of Solana chart you'll see. So this is the reason why I'm telling you have to be careful. But if you are using the right tools, such as this platform right here, which I wish I would have been using a few days ago, I think not only would have I been able to enter better trades and positions, but I would have also not been able to get wrecked too quick because of my position not going through, right? So I like this platform a lot. This literally reminds me of a typical centralized exchange, and they are also coming out with an airdrop. So definitely go ahead and check out what is it called? Photon.sol. This is one of the best, in my opinion, so far, trading bots out there. I've tried a few. I haven't traded using Unibot, but I heard Unibot's is one of the other best trading bots to go ahead and use when you're trading on these Solana meme tokens, right? You need something that executes very quickly, efficiently, and moves in and out. For me personally, I would say this has worked really well. This is one that I enjoy myself, and you see how volatile this is. If you tried BankBot, you know how easy it is for you to get wrecked, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and post my link down below for all of you to check it out. I will go ahead and do a video in the future, deep dive on how to use it, but it's really self-explanatory, and that's what I love about it, right? I don't even have to make a video because it's pretty self-explanatory about it. So check that out. What to do with Myro? Want to sell but not at this price. Let's go ahead and take a look at Myro real quick. That's a great question. I mean, see, the thing is, one thing that I learned about these meme tokens is that with these meme tokens, they're not the same as a lot of these Solana, a lot of these Ethereum plays, right? With Ethereum, you're in the zone right now. Yeah, you definitely do not want to sell, not financial advice. But you definitely do not want to sell Myro right now, man. I think right now Myro is actually looking pretty bullish, and I don't think this is the time you want to sell Myro. So hold off on selling. hold off on selling. But one thing I've noticed with a lot of these meme tokens is that the narratives don't last too long, right? Like when you're in profits, take your money and leave. You know what I mean? Like you don't want to go ahead and hold on to profits for too long in this space when it comes to Solana tokens, because I notice more than ever, multiple times, you would definitely go ahead and get wrecked, right? So what we're seeing with Myro right here, it does look like we have found some sort of bottom at the moment. So we are going to go ahead and see what we could be expecting, right? It looks like a possibility of a cup and handle pattern possibly forming. So we're going to go ahead and see where this thing goes. Maybe we go ahead and find the support at the 77 million one more time before we go ahead and have a massive pump to the upside. So in my opinion, Myro looks like it's getting some sort of cup and handle, possibly happening very soon. We're not seeing that much volume right now. We're seeing actually more selling pressure than buying pressure. Volume has been slightly a little bit lower. But let's go ahead and see what we could expect from Myro moving forward as well. In the 15-minute chart, we're doing okay. We're not doing too crazy, but on the 15-minute chart, it does look more like a cup and handle pattern on the 15-minute chart, right? So it's actually looking very bullish in my opinion. And the thing I've learned about these Solana meme tokens is that if you're not liquid, you're better off sometimes taking a loss on a token, even if you're down 30-50% depending on the amount, because if you're trading these tokens back to back, sometimes taking a loss and moving forward, it's a lot better. Like for example, right here, this position I took on this token, I could have closed at a 50% loss, and I looked away and it dumped 90%, right? So hopefully this narrative comes back. If not, this token's completely dead. I mean, this is literally the last money that I had on Sol to go ahead and literally get my portfolio back up until I got paid. So it looks like unfortunately, unless this thing skyrockets to like the high 200,000 market cap, then I might get a chance to break even or make some money. But till then, I'm literally going to be selling for pennies on this position, which at this point I would rather just hold, right? So hopefully this position recovers, but you know, I'm not really expecting much. But yeah, Myro's looking kind of bullish in my opinion. Look at LPT. Can you go ahead and provide the smart contract? If LPT is a token, or what is it? Is it like on a platform? LPT. Okay, LPT. Damn, that's freaking insane. This thing squeezed out. This thing had a short squeeze. LPT. It is on MEXC as well. And if you want to go ahead and trade on MEXC on any of these tokens like Myro or LPT or GameStop, check out BingX. They're offering $5,000 in sign-up bonuses, as well as MEXC. Both of these platforms are non-KYC platforms, so go ahead and check those out. Bybit being one of the best ones. And then we also have NordVPN offering 69% off with 3 months extra, so go ahead and check out those platforms if you do want to go ahead and leverage trade any of these tokens that we're talking about. But LPT looks freaking insane, man. I would really wonder if this is some sort of narrative that made a push, maybe some sort of celebrity or someone said something, or it was just heavily shorted that this thing squeezed, right? So let us know down below, man, what caused this pump on LPT token. That's freaking insane. And congratulations if you took a trade on that. Can you take a look at Mevia and GRT? Of course, Goldie. I apologize for not seeing your comment earlier. Mevia. Mevia looks like it just came out, right? A few weeks ago. Damn, this is freaking crazy. This looks pretty bullish. I've seen this pattern multiple times, especially with a lot of these meme tokens. I like to kind of call it like some sort of bull flag pattern, even though it's not exactly some sort of bull flag pattern. But typically we see this range where we consolidate within the zone right here, like we're seeing right here, before we have that breakout. So if we do go ahead and see this breakout at around 9,000 right here, or $9, sorry, I was thinking of market cap, $9, we will go ahead and be seeing this thing reach about $13 in the coming days. So definitely be on the lookout to go ahead and load up on some positions with Mevia. And this is on MEXC, right? So you're really going to go ahead and leverage trade. This could be a pretty good, nice little pump right here. You can literally capture a nice little 65% pump, and if you're using leverage, you can definitely go ahead and take advantage of that, right? So I do expect, usually when we see this kind of movement, we sometimes see sideways movement before we break out, but once we have that breakout, typically it's very, very freaking strong, right? So usually this is a pretty strong pattern in my opinion that I always see break out to the upside. I trade this pattern multiple times when it comes to a lot of the meme tokens, right? We've seen it multiple times when this thing happens. So it's looking pretty bullish in my opinion. So definitely be on the lookout on this, some sort of breakout happening very soon in the next coming days. So maybe by Saturday or Sunday, we should see this this pattern finally break out. Let's go ahead and go to the smaller time frames. And yeah, in the smaller time frames, we are seeing that sort of consolidation where it consolidates here multiple times with support and resistance, and then after we have the final breakout to the upside, right? So we're also seeing the RSI getting ready to cross as well. Obviously, it will be extremely bearish if we do lose this area of support at around the $6.39, because we never want to see a spot consolidate for so long and go the opposite way, right? We go ahead and, you know, consolidate for that long, and then we break down to the downside. It's going to be a bearish, you know, one of the most bearish things you could expect. But if it is consolidating and we do see that resistance finally being broken with enough momentum, then we could go ahead and see this thing completely send to over $13. So definitely be on the lookout for that. As long as the RSIs are good and we don't see them finally, you know, really cross all the way down, we should be good with Mevia. So Mevia is looking pretty good. Let's go ahead and take a look at GRT. GRT token is okay. Let's go ahead and see what GRT is doing for us. GRT on the longer time frame, on the 4 hourly at least, looks like there's a possibility of a cup and handle. Let me go over on the longer time frame. We're seeing the daily. Let's go ahead and zoom out. What do we see? And that's exactly what we see. We see multiple patterns, right? We see a double bottom pattern right here forming, which is super bullish, and then we also see a cup and handle pattern forming right here. So it's looking extremely bullish on this right here. As soon as we break out to that 0.19 cents, we are going to see this freaking send to 32 cents. So this would be a really nice breakout, and this is literally aligning with what we're seeing right now with Bitcoin, right? If we do see Bitcoin take off to $57,000, we could see a lot of these altcoins also take off, right? So definitely be on the lookout for that. I've talked to every one of you that I really do strongly believe Bitcoin will be topping off at around $57,000, and this is all due to a short squeeze, right? So altcoins will be having a massive run up as well. So GRT is also looking to get ready for that massive pump to the upside. As I mentioned, 32 cents from this bottom to this top is literally over a 70% pump, and if you're using leverage, this is literally freaking insane. So definitely make sure to go ahead and take advantage of these bonuses that these platforms are offering, because not only are you going to be making free money when you're leverage trading them, but you're also going to be taking advantage of these exclusive bonus and no KYC. All right, so check those out. You could go ahead and leverage trade and make literally free money trading with the bonuses as well, right? Where you could go ahead and use those bonuses to trade and enter more trades. So it's like a win-win situation. But GRT is looking extremely bullish on this, Goldie. So hopefully you're locked into some positions. Obviously, if it does get rejected at those zones, it's not going to look too good. But also on the weekly, it is showing bullish signs as well. Double bottom pattern, which is looking extremely bullish. And then we also have the cup and handle pattern as well right here forming. So it's looking extremely bullish, extremely freaking bullish. So obviously, you know, we do go ahead and get rejected within the zone. It's completely out the way, but it's looking more bullish than anything RSI has crossed, and Bitcoin, in my opinion, will be pushing towards that $57,000. So that's also looking really bullish in my opinion. Look at LPT, we already did. Moon Joker says Myro was a rug pull, bro. Should have sold at the top. See, and that's the thing with a lot of these tokens. A lot of these tokens are mostly rugs. I didn't buy into Myro. I think I've only made a video about Myro, but I didn't buy Myro, or maybe I was trading Myro. I don't remember. But this was not a full rug. I mean, unless this was community driven now, but this is not considered a rug. A rug is a token that completely pulls out liquidity. So it's good to see you here, Moon Joker, but I wouldn't call Myro a rug pull, right? A rug pull is when they pull out the liquidity, and liquidity is still locked. You have about 1.8 million of liquidity locked, so we can't call it a rug pull. But yeah, when you come across these tokens, you have to sell the tops. Like I've noticed that, and I've learned that the hard way, that a lot of these tokens never recover and they never come to their previous all-time high, right? So no matter how bullish the narrative is, we had a bullish narrative of the CBDC, which right now it's trending number 2, but that thing's down 77%, right? So we had the GME and AMC narrative a few weeks ago. GME was kind of forgotten the last 2 weeks ago, right? Same thing with AMC. So these narratives come and go very quickly in Solana, and I've noticed that at the most, a lot of these tokens mostly only last no more than 15 minutes. Some of them only lasting, I would say, 15 minutes before a project rug pulls you. So they literally pull the liquidity and the project's worthless. So this is kind of the reason why in this Solana space, you can make a lot of money, but you could also lose a lot of money because there's mostly scams. Most of these projects are complete freaking scams, like rug pulls. So literally, the token will be dead within 15 minutes. If a token's still alive within 30 minutes is a good sign, but most of them at the max last 2 hours. And minimum, I would say the full lifetime of a token of a narrative being bullish is 3 days. After 3 days, if it no longer is, you know, hot or talked about, the token dumps over 90%, gets kind of forgotten unless people start to trade it again. GME still continues to pump. It looks like it has found a bottom. I'm expecting AMC to do the same thing, but I do believe that the GME narrative is just really, really big, right? So I do believe GME is going to have some sort of, you know, narrative like Myro and all these other tokens where they continue to pump and have these crazy market caps, right? So just be aware of that. I've learned that kind of the hard way, that with a lot of these meme tokens, they last no more than 3 days. The narratives die very quickly. People forget about them. And as you're seeing right now, Soro, CBDC, ChatGPT being the trending ones, come back in 2-3 days, and I can guarantee you most of these tokens are no longer going to be trending. They're going to be gone and forgotten, right? And that's the space of Solana. Welcome to it. It's very fast paced, and people have the attention span of a goldfish. They've actually said that goldfishes have a better attention span than humans. So that's to go ahead and say the least. Mark, how's it going, man? Yo, John, I'm on my 3rd morning coffee and you're still awake. What time is it at your place? Awesome, man. It's actually kind of a little bit late for me. It's 12:29 a.m. So it's about to be 1 a.m. in a couple minutes. How's your coffee, man? How do you like to drink your coffee, Mark? That's my question. Moon Joker says, John, do you think crypto will go down as the weekend? I think there's a possibility. One thing we have to go ahead and keep in mind is that if you know, today is Thursday for me, or technically it's already Friday, but depending on how the stock market closes, if the stock market closes grained later on today, it's going to be a very bullish sign for the market, right? If we do go ahead and close red, we have to be concerned and be expecting some sort of red leading into the market of next week. But I think the market might possibly finish on a green. You know, the market's looking pretty good unless we go ahead and see it, you know, top off and have a little breather. It, you know, it doesn't mean that it's not going to be bullish, but also on the US 100, we're seeing this massive cup and handle pattern. So I do believe we still have a little bit more room for the market to do its thing, but I do also have to say that depending on how we close the stock market on Friday is definitely going to determine what we could be expecting with Bitcoin and a lot of these other cryptocurrencies, right? So we're going to have to wait till later on today and see how the market reacts, right? Because usually Fridays are the days that either makes or breaks the freaking market, right? Whether they release good information or they release bad information that shakes up the market. Where can I enter on GRT? Are you talking about Kaku? Are you talking about Goldie Crypto says, thanks, John. Thank you, Goldie, and happy Valentine's Day, by the way. Hope you had a great day. and you enjoyed it. Kaku says, where can I enter on GRT? On GRT, for an entry, I would say an entry would be now, honestly. The thing is, it's a little difficult to go ahead and give you for sure like on where you could enter, because it just really becomes, it all comes down to like what kind of leverage you're using, and then also how much capital you have left available, right? Because right now, looking at the daily, it looks like we are breaking towards this area of resistance, and as soon as we enter this area of resistance, we will be seeing this potentially sent off, right? Meaning this thing's gonna freaking rocket. So I would focus on looking for an entry in the smaller time frames. Looking at the 4-hourly chart, we do see that this is an area to buy in, which is around 18 cents and 790, or 18. Wait, sorry, it would be 18,317. So unless you could go ahead and get a little breather on there, I would say, but if not, I would say just enter now. You know, you just don't know. If you could go ahead and slightly wait for this thing to retrace to 18,483, I would go ahead and do it. But what I would do is I would just dollar cost average into my position instead of going all in, right? Because if the market does do, you know, the opposite, and we do come back down to 1781, let's say, for example, let's say it does come down slightly back down to 17,861, you at least have already a position in, and you could dollar cost average your position in, and as is breaking off, you start to quadruple down on your position. So when it takes off, you're not risking too much money, right? You're not overexposing yourself. But if you were to go all in, let's say right now, you put all your money and it dumps, you have a higher chance of liquidation. And not only that, but you also have a probability to be overly exposed with your position. So one thing that I would always like to go ahead and do is that if I'm entering a position with, let's say, $2,000, $5,000, I would enter a small position of $500 and then just see how the market's reacting, right? So if the market is going down, you start to go ahead and dollar cost average. If we do see the area of support being broken, then that's when you start to go ahead and sell your position, and you're not as exposed as if you were all the way at the top, right? That's usually what I like to go ahead and use, that kind of method. But I would focus using the smaller time frames to enter your positions. Typically what I like to go ahead and do when I'm entering a position, I like looking at the 5-minute chart and the 3-minute chart to make a decision to enter a position. And looking at the 1-minute chart, the entry is now. The entry is now for the 3-minute chart, right? It's also showing that cup and handle pattern, getting ready for that breakout. RSI has crossed, so this is actually your buying opportunity, in my opinion, not financial advice. And if you are looking to go ahead and trade GRT, check out BingX. I'm not sure if it's on BingX, but it is on MEXC. So MEXC right here, no KYC, and they got back to being one of the lowest trading fee platforms again, right? So that's a really good sign for us to go ahead and see. But you could go ahead and trade GRT right here on MEXC. If you need NordVPN, check out NordVPN, 69% off with 3 months extra. But yeah, GRT is looking pretty good, man. We could slightly see some sort of resistance being approached at this area, though. That's typically what we also have to see. We could usually see, and what we usually see is with these cup and handle patterns, sometimes we go ahead and enter an area of resistance, coming back down to this area of support before we have that breakout to the upside, right? So also keep that in mind. There's multiple ways how these cup and handle patterns work. Sometimes we go ahead and pump, sometimes we go ahead and slightly fall below support as a fake out, and then we go ahead and pump. So this is the reason why I'm saying either you could enter all in right now, or you could just put in $500 as your position is going down. You add more, another 500, 500, 500 as it's taking off. Now you put in another 300, and as soon as it gets that breakout, you could go ahead and throw in $3,000 right here, because I would confirm that this has that this trade is going to go in your favor, right? As opposed to you put $3,000 right here at the top and it's going down, you're overexposing yourself, losing money, and if it does a fake out, you're more than likely going to go ahead and get liquidated, right? So that's usually what I prefer to do. I always like to dollar cost average into my position leverage trading, and if the trade is going in my favor, I like to go ahead and start adding bigger positions or bigger size slots as is breaking out, right? I think that's one of the best ways to not only have liquid money on your hand, but also you don't overexpose yourself in a lot of your positions. As I mentioned, that's just what works for me, right? Show John's love by hitting that like button. Yeah, 100%. I like my coffee with Bailey's. I've never heard of Bailey's. Is that like a brand or something? I will put in $15 with 20x leverage. Nice, man. Just be very careful with your liquidation. Just be very careful with your liquidation on where your liquidation is going to be. I would recommend, if you're going to do that, try to go ahead and trade it actively. Don't leave your trade open for too long, and then try to go ahead and put a nice little stop loss where you won't get liquidated, right? So definitely go ahead and keep that in mind, Cuckoo. But yeah, I have over 9 watchers right now. Do me a huge favor and smash that like button. We have now 7 likes. It doesn't cost you anything. It's completely free, and it does help support the channel. So that's pretty much it with technical analysis. I think we're good with that. I do want to go ahead and show you a few things, a few news sources that we have right here that I find quite important. We have a few things. I don't think none of this is important. But what I find really interesting is this: Bitcoin Premium Index is spiking higher on Coinbase Exchange, meaning that institutional buyers are fulfilling client orders. So that's interesting, right? So you know how we talked about Bitcoin approaching this $57,000 range. I'm still going to be sticking to that narrative. As you're seeing, Coinbase institutional brokers are fulfilling the client's purchase orders for Bitcoin, right? So institutions are getting excited. We also see right here BTC from an Ikomochi cloud perspective on the weekly is showing that we have broke out of the 51,000, and the next target is $55,000. We talked about on Bitcoin why I do believe $57,000 range is more than likely going to be approached, because within that $53,000 range, there's really no area of resistance, right? There's a lot of volume within that range, so we're more than likely going to go ahead and break past that zone with no problem, in my opinion. Let's see if this thing loads up. As we see, 55,000 could be next. As I've been asked a lot, what is next for Bitcoin? In the comments, here's my analysis. Bookmark it. Both targets 1 and 2 have been hit, but $50,000 is a strong level if Bitcoin manages to close weekly candle above. Target 3 at 54,000 or 55,400 is next. Note that the given extremely bullish momentum, target 3 has high chance to hit even break the end of the week, break before the end of the week. I'm a little tired. I apologize. But we're seeing right here target 1 being met, target 2 being met, and then we see this breakout with target 3. So there's a possibility later on today we will be seeing Bitcoin break towards that $55,000 range, and I think that $55,000 range will squeeze us to $57,000, right? So we're gonna go to see how this week goes. But this is freaking funny, man. Look at this, send it. And this guy's socks go. Dude, this space is too funny, man. This space is too funny. This is actually quite interesting too. In each cycle, what are the narratives to keep people out during the accumulation period? And we talked about you have to be very, very careful what you listen to and who you listen to, because this space, the person can give you wrong information, right? Take a look at this. 2016, the issue was security issues will hit hard. It's a bubble, right? That's what we have right here. And that's what they're saying. As you see, Bitcoin within this range right here is when it makes its all-time high, breaking towards that $15,000 range, right? We see 2020, we're in a global pandemic and it's a bubble. And we also see right here Bitcoin running around this $13,000 range before breaking towards that new all-time high. And in 2024, macroeconomic factors are terrible. It's a bubble. The economy is not doing good, but what people don't understand is that the worse the economy, the better the markets are going to be, right? So this is where Bitcoin, it's projected to be hitting around 160 to 220. I don't think we're going to hit 220. In my opinion, I think Bitcoin could be within this range of around 150, 160. I think that'd be a top for Bitcoin in my opinion. But yeah, it's looking pretty good. Bobby's saying 70 to 89, even possibly 90K wick possibility. So that's interesting. I do see that also. I do see the possibility of, I've been calling for about $80,000 Bitcoin. It's what I think could happen. There's a probability that we could hit 120. That's for me. I think 120 to $90,000 Bitcoin is my top, unless we have some crazy bullish scenario where we have the market push to 160. I think it's possible. Anything's possible, but I'm sticking to my narrative range being around $90 to $120,000 Bitcoin. that we see this coming up bull run, right? So definitely something to be excited about. So don't go ahead and get distracted with what we're seeing in the news, right? Some strong Bitcoin TA right here. Taking a look at the daily resistance on our way up, we have a 56K level, which is an important confluence level that is shown in the picture down below. But remember, as we go up, the resistance levels get smaller and smaller, approaching new all-time highs. And we do see that that's the macro on the 0786 on the reversal zone, which is around that $57,000 range, which is the zone that I've been talking about, right? I've been talking about how $57,000 range on Bitcoin will be some sort of top. 57,800, as we see right here on altcoins. A growth thread is showing charts providing a large macro altcoin season is on the verge. And this is actually what we've been talking about, right? So for all those been asking me, when is altcoin season? When is altcoin season? Well, altcoin season is almost near, and it doesn't show us a chart here. Where is it? Yeah, it doesn't show us a chart here. So we're gonna exit that tweet. But we see this chart right here, Bitcoin on the left. We're already getting towards that finish line, and we see altcoin season here. Altcoin season hasn't really started, so I do expect a lot of money to be made during this altcoin season. So definitely be on the lookout. And if anybody looking for a higher risk token to trade, check out Pepe Fork. Here is the smart contract, which I will go ahead and provide to all of you right now if you want to go ahead and check that out. Let me go ahead and provide that. This does look like it's getting ready for another breakout to the upside. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. Pork right here, it is on ETH. So we are also seeing this sort of area of consolidation. These meme tokens are a little bit more difficult to go ahead and analyze, in my opinion, because there's a lot of other influences in there as well to go ahead and make up for the project and pump. But we could also be seeing some sort of cup and handle pattern right here. So as long as we continue to hold this area of support within this range at around the 146.93 million market cap, I would say as long as we hold this 139.28 million market cap, we should be good. If we do start to break that support right here at this market cap of around 134 million, it is going to be looking extremely bearish, and we will see this pork token come down even lower, down to the 40 million market cap, right? So when it comes to meme tokens, I've noticed that, you know, calling them by their market caps, or calling them, I guess, what is the correct term I'm trying to use? We're just gonna say calling them. Calling them, yeah, we're gonna call them calling them until I can think of a better term, because I'm like half asleep. So just make sure we don't lose this area of support right here around the 134 million market cap is the range, in my opinion. If it does fall below it, we could be seeing the 80 million market cap coming, which is not going to be looking too good. That'd be taking us to a little bit over a 50% dump, right? So pork is also looking at its in this consolidation phase as well, at least on the daily, right? On the 4 hourly, we are also seeing a few little bullish things, in my opinion. We see this double bottom pattern forming, and then we're also seeing this cup and handle pattern potentially forming. I'm not sure if you can consider that a cup and handle, but cup and handles come in all shapes and forms, man. I've traded multiple cup and handle patterns that look, you know, perfect textbook identical, where they literally do exactly the freaking same. I've traded cup and handle patterns where they freaking, you know, they pump, they get rejected, and then they freaking break out to the upside. I've traded, you know, all these patterns are very different, right? So it just really depends on the time frame you're looking at. But pork also looks like it's getting ready for some sort of breakout to the upside. And then here are some tokens that are approaching some discovery levels. So we see Tau, Pith, Pendle, SUI, Beam, NTRN, AI, WIF, TIA, CAS, Prime, and SEI. So if you're looking to go ahead and enter any of these positions, go ahead and take a look at these. You know, go ahead and screenshot this right now, write them down on a piece of paper, and start looking for some entries on these tokens. We do see Tau on the daily with his massive breakout to the upside. We also see SUI getting ready for this breakout on the daily. Maybe it already happened, right? And we also see this on the SEI as well, with that double bottom at the bottom with that massive breakout, right? Same thing with Prime. A lot of these tokens follow the same exact freaking movement. Like with Bitcoin doing its own thing, a lot of these tokens could be pumping as well, right? One thing that I've been thinking about, I was like, maybe I should start talking about VeChain more. I used to be a big VeChain maxi, and I've been disappointed at what VeChain has done. Really hasn't really done much, but VeChain is a top tier project that finds itself within the top 100 coins on CoinMarketCap, right? This project is very undervalued and no one talks about it, but it has a decent market cap, and they have some pretty big partners like Givenchy, Walmart, BMW, Louis Vuitton. They have some pretty big partners, and people just really don't seem to go ahead and talk about them, right? I really love what VeChain has. It's pretty much a blockchain that it's supposed to go ahead and authenticate, you know, where things are going to, or, you know, who's moving them or touching them. So we also see right here PHEX on Pulse Chain doing this cup and handle pattern with this breakout on the 4-hourly. So definitely check out these tokens as well. Most of these tokens could be traded on MEXC and BingX. So definitely go ahead and check out those links down below if you want to go ahead and enter any of these positions. But that's pretty much it. I would say that's pretty much important in my opinion. We also are seeing huge positive divergence between the Bitcoin price and Google trends. Typically when we go ahead and see this, that's definitely a good sign, right? The last time Bitcoin was at 50K, Google search trends was about 90. Today, Bitcoin is ripping through 52,000 and Google search trends are below 20. Retail is sleeping and this party hasn't even started. I completely agree, and this is the reason why I'm extremely bullish, and I believe over $80,000 Bitcoin could be breaking through once we start getting this actual kind of bull run, right? So we are seeing a lot of short-term liquidity at around $51,000. Right now, what is Bitcoin at? Around 51,200. We're actually seeing a nice little pump on Bitcoin right now live, so that's good to go ahead and see. But yeah, so just be on the lookout for that on Bitcoin liquidations. We see $51,000. Let's see if Bitcoin could go ahead, and BlackRock purchasing power let Bitcoin have any tiny dip. We do see $51,000, and we also see the range within around, slightly around this 52,500, right? So I do expect some sort of short squeeze pushing Bitcoin up to $57,000. Definitely be on the lookout. So be careful. I do believe we are getting near some sort of top of the market. I don't know how long this market could last, maybe another 1 or 2 hours, but it is looking quite bullish in my opinion. With that being said, I hope all of you have a wonderful rest of your day. Good morning, good night,